what a surprise that Hurricane Michael it went from a tropical storm, I think, and now it's a Hurricane 4. Oh, by the way, Philadelphia just blew up. I got word from the news that over there in Center City, it blew up. There's the smoke from the South Philly, I think. Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody's worried about it, because I mean, everybody's just kind of just going about their business. They're not really, I don't know, they're acting like they don't even see it. It's moving to the left, so the smoke is breaking news. We have a situation. South Philadelphia is on fire. It's blown up, and nobody freaking even knows. Hell yeah!
Oh, look at this shit. Hurry up for this shit.
He needs to watch his language. So, the smoke is heading northbound. Oh crap.
Complete.
Yeah, so today's the 10th, 10/10/2018, and it's not going to be an immediate collapse. It's just going to be gradual. So with the hurricane there, I mean, again, this is just my theory. I got no facts whatsoever, no proof. It just seems like this hurricane, just by the name of it, is going to start well, let's see, it'll probably be, I mean, last year, I just go by the history. Last year they evacuated all Florida. And I turned on Israeli News Live for about a minute, and I just heard that it's a Category 4. So, what other better way to start to collapse the economy by destroying everything with a, well, I mean, exaggerating. It's going to be exaggerated. But destroying city by city, state by state, evacuating everybody, clearing up the East Coast, and I'm just blaming it on God. Because, you know, again, Trump is just, he is the best president in the entire world that we've ever seen. He is literally going to make America great. Yeah, nobody's really, I don't see any panic in anybody right now. Even though, see, here's what's kind of funny. You look up at the clouds, it's straight up nuclear bomb explosion look. But it doesn't have the sound, and we don't have the warning. Even though I'm giving the warning right now, where this is what we're gonna see. Again, it's just my theory. But the people that are walking around oblivious to everything, they don't even realize that they're looking at the nuclear war bombs that they're going to show us. And when they start warning us that they're sending missiles and we're getting exploded and blown up, that's when everybody that's walking around normally right now is gonna panic. They're all gonna be running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And the whole idea, well, it's to unleash absolute evil on the entire world. And they're going to try to persuade you into well, just either doing something that you've always wanted to do if you have an evil heart, or doing something that you normally would never do to try to give you an evil heart. Because now, again, I think that we'll see a rapture first, or not. We might not see it, but we'll hear about it. Because that's the main way. How do you know if you're saved? Well, you're gonna know you're not when we hear that the rapture already happened and we're left behind. I seen one video a while back, what to do if you're left behind from the rapture. And the guy's like, well, if you're left behind, then you're probably watching this video. I'm like, what? Come on, man. Really? So you're actually planning on having production of videos and stuff's just going to continue on as it is when the rapture happens and God's people aren't here on earth anymore? It took me a while to start figuring this stuff out when they talk about this 1,000-year period, that only Satan's people will be left on earth, and they'll be happy when God's people are raptured up out of here. Well, it just absolutely makes no sense, because God's not going to sit there, waste time for the next 1,000 years on earth with all Satan's children. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make sense. Just like the daughters of men. The daughters of men. I gotta study that a little bit more. Daughters of men. Because from my understanding, and again, it's just my understanding. Don't take my word for it. But what I understand about daughters of men, right, is connected to evil-hearted daughters of men. You know, on earth, evil-hearted. Because I've always found it hard to believe that angels have sex with real women on earth. I don't, something's just not connecting with my understanding of it, because, and it goes back to the whole bearing giants. Now, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. When we were made in the image of God, and angels were made as ministering spirits, you got to ask yourself that question. And I know the Bible talks about it. Angels entering into the daughters of men and bearing children, and they were once eternal beings in heaven, in the heavenly realm, but then they decided to corrupt themselves and go into the daughters of men. So you have angels having sex with humans. I'm not one way or another right now. I'm just, because I don't have proof, but I just go by my senses. My senses tell me that something doesn't make sense. Obviously, because it's a sense. It's just my sense. But I'm going to look up more and see where I see in the Bible when it talks about daughters of men. I don't know what my point was. I was just thinking about that. Daughters of men, angels having sex with humans. I can't comprehend it. That's what it is. I can't comprehend why that is, because us humans were made in the image of God, which means we're able to have children. Women are able to bore children, and spirits have always been around. They're eternal beings. They're spirits. And I'm just not sure how the seed, I'm not sure how am I trying to say here? Not sure how I'm not sure how an angel has sperm, all right? Look there. I'm trying to beat around the bush here. No pun intended, but I don't understand how a spiritual being has sperm and can impregnate a woman. That's all. Now, I know Christ was conceived without sperm, right? From God. And then I guess you can say, well, wasn't Cain and Abel, wasn't one God's and one Satan's? I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I'm just thinking out loud, and maybe you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for, you know what, it's like I forget I have the comment section open. I'm looking for someone to explain that to me. And if anybody knows about the daughters of men, where that spiritually represents evil-hearted women on earth, and the sons of God, I believe it says, were son of man. Again, I do a lot of thinking out loud. I don't know the Bible inside and out like a lot of people do. But the one thing I think that I do understand is spiritual meanings towards a lot of important verses. You know, because because I have my cult, right? I'm trying to continue, because Harold Camping, he was a cult leader, and he warned us about this tribulation period, God's judgment 7 years ago, but we're all seeing it now, and but he was the one that warned us about this. But because it was 7 years ago, it's almost like, well, he's a false prophet, because He said that 7 years ago. He was ahead of... Look, guys, he was 7 years ahead. He's a false prophet. Well, I think when you prophesy, you're supposed to know things ahead of time, right? That's all I'm saying about that. But, I mean, come on, man. Even Northeast Philly has blown up too. It's smoke clouds. I mean, they're beautiful. I'll give them that. I don't know. I remember Harold Camping explaining this angel thing, having sex with I mean, the perception of angels having sex with humans. And because I've listened closely, and that's the thing with YouTube right now. Not one person believes everything I'm saying. You're not supposed to, because if you were, then you would be me, and you're not. So, but you always take. Okay, let's say, all right, Robin, you're a little bit freaking thrown off with some of the things you say, but there's other things I can resonate with, and that's why I continue to listen. Therefore, I've done the same thing with Harold Camping. I can't say too many things that I didn't agree with him with, because his spiritual understanding of literal verses was exponentially enormous, and I'll give the old man credit. He opened my freaking eyes towards a lot of crap that I didn't understand, and a lot of things that he said people didn't believe and mocked him for it in the beginning, and then now, well, people are starting to say the same damn thing that he was, and it's such a typical YouTube world that the ones with the truth, they say things beforehand and they get ridiculed for it, and then a couple years later or a year later or 6 months later or whatever it is, trust me or don't, I've been through this. After time of explaining something that I was getting, you know, like the bombings, for instance, like Manchester bombing and all the fake ass, everything that's just, all the acting and pretending over in the other countries there. When the stories first came out, automatically, first thing I put in was fake. Fake bombing, fake this, fake that. And then I had to stop putting that title in there because I was getting strikes. Obviously, because it was fake. And I would get heat from the commenters. Like, what do you do? You didn't even investigate before you made a condemnation. Oh my God, Karen. Oh man, I'll tell you what. It's like at the same time she's calling me and I gotta go.